Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I got a weird one for you today, so I'm posting this video to hopefully help someone else out there. Help the do-it-yourselfers, the small guys, the people that want to fix their own cars. We know that these big dealerships are making it harder and harder for normal, everyday people to fix their cars. It kind of pisses me off, so we got to do two small videos like this to hopefully point people in the right direction so that they can continue to work on their own car. So what we have here today is a 2015 Chevy Tahoe LTZ. I've got all kinds of service suspension codes. I've got a service Stabilatrac. I had a lot of service codes in here, trailer brake system. And when I pulled the codes and read the scan tool, a lot of it was like a communication error, lost communication, low voltage, low resistance, short to ground, all kinds of weird stuff. The stuff you really don't want to see on a late model GM, where they have about 20 computers on board, and it can be a pure nightmare. But there is a couple factory defects from the overpaid engineers that would probably be like, you know what, if we spend an extra $5 and put some harness protector right here, we wouldn't have all these issues. But so basically, when I pulled those codes, we're getting down to lost communication with suspension control module, the U0139. When I first got to the car, I did what any good technician would do. You know, I said my prayer, cleared all the codes, and a lot of them went away, but I have a feeling if I keep driving it, a lot of them will reappear, because when one computer quits talking to another computer, it can cause all kinds of other computers to mess up, and that is the nightmare of these GMs. So I'm going to start with the main one that is definitely not going away, and it's lost communication with the suspension control module. I did all the normal basic stuff that you would do when you're starting a diag process. Basically, you want to start with all the easy stuff. I went through, checked all my fuses, made sure those were all good. Also looked for all my connectors, made sure there was nothing unplugged, nothing weird. Made sure the battery was good, that I had a good charge, and the terminals were clean, nothing like that. Also, you know, corrosion, bad grounds, stuff like that can cause a lot of issues too. So all that checked out pretty good. So I start digging around. You know, I'm kind of old school, like an old hound dog. I start sniffing around on all the wires and the connections, and it led me to find right back here. Let me get my creeper real quick and grab my flashlight. No lift over here. Trying to help the small mechanics out. So basically on the back right here, if you don't know, okay guys, so here's a good place to start by checking. So basically you want to go to the back of your vehicle, get your spare tire emergency jack set up, pull those things out. There's also a fuse panel back here. You can check those fuses while you're at it. And you're going to want to drop the spare tire. Now you can go into your owner's manual and find out exactly how to do that, but basically you put your rod through there, turn it, it'll drop the spare tire, and then you're going to come back under here and look. As you can see right here, see where this main harness is dropped down through the chassis? It creates a pinch point right here between the chassis and the frame, or the body and the frame, and this is where I found my issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my light down right here, see if I can get it over here. As you can see, the wires, that's my main power wire right here. That one's completely severed, and I think there is at least one or two more down in here that have corrosion starting. A tall tale sign is the copper looking dust. That means the wire is corroded. That is going to be probably most of my issues. So when I get these wires fixed and repaired, then I can do more diag and see if there's anything further that I need to go. As you can tell, there is not a lot of room up here, so I'm gonna go ahead. I pulled out all these little retaining clips, popped them all off. Also, this is a suspension control module. There's a couple clips up here that I popped off. So I popped those clips out. I'm gonna give myself as much slack as I can to pull this harness down as much as I can and try to repair the wires. You're gonna wanna use a good quality butt connector, solder them wherever possible. Also, you're going to want to use the heat shrink connectors that you can heat shrink it, and it will actually hold it into place better. And then you're going to want to wrap it, and I'm going to put a little extra wire loom to give it a little bit extra protection. I mean, if they just would have put some more wire loom, the hard plastic kind, I think that this could have been avoided, but what are you going to do? So here's a good place to start. Go back there, check for this pinch point in these wires. I guess it's pretty common on these late model GMs for the Yukons and the Escalades, I'm sure, and the Tahoes. That's a good place to look if you've got suspension issues or anything. So this is actually the main power going to the module. It's going to create all kinds of other issues because this module won't speak to, let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 computers back here that are a possibility of being affected depending on what wires are broken. So here's a good place to start. Okay guys, so here is the wires that I did locate. There is a one main power wire, and then if you look closely on these two little ones right here, the bluish copper dust is corrosion on copper, so that is no good, so I got to repair that one. And then there's also another wire here that's been cut. So far I've got 3 wires back here. There might be one more that I have a question about, but I'm going to fix these 3 first and then go from there. And you're probably going to want to graph in a little bit of wire because I just feel like you might not have enough, so I might put a little jumper section of about one inch on each of them just to give me enough enough room to not pull apart. And also I'm going to wrap it really good with electrical tape when I'm done. So let's get these repaired and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I just got the repair done. I did use some heat shrink butt connectors. I do prefer the ones that you can actually hit with heat, and they shrink wrap themselves, and they also turn hard to hold the wires into place. I did end up graphing 1 inch of wire into the thicker one just because it was so tight. It probably would have pulled apart over time, so I graphed in a little bit of wire, heat shrunk that. We're gonna get everything put back together. Whoops. I'm gonna put some better quality wire loom on it and then wrap everything really good in tape, as well as electrical tape, and then also some of this abrasion resistant tape. So we're gonna get that all put back up, and we're gonna see the process and how it looks, and then we're gonna start it up and see if we fixed our issues. Alright guys, there it is. I fixed all my service suspension codes, service Stabilatrac, all those codes. I've got 0 codes in the system now. So just under $10, I was able to fix a lot of issues on this thing that was, being caused by broken wires. So I'm pretty happy with how well it turned out. Here's a good place to start, guys. Hopefully this video helps someone out there that's having similar issues. If you don't have access to a good quality scanner to read the modules on everything, you probably can go to O'Reilly's or an AutoZone, have them do a code scan, be able to print out some of the codes that you're having. I was not even able to communicate with the suspension control module on this thing, which is never a good sign. So here we have it. Everything is fixed. All my service codes are gone, and I'm pretty happy with how well it turned out. So if you think this video helped you guys, make sure to like this video, sub to the channel, leave a comment. Let's get this video in the hands of as many people to help them with their vehicles to save them a few bucks. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.